Hey everyone. If you're here, welcome to another Sirius Frequencies broadcast. We're going to get the opposite of serious probably today. What are we going to talk about today? Well, I think we're going to make some fun, because fun is it's a serious frequency. It's meant to be taken seriously. And there's lots of fun to be had. Fun is kind of a subjective frequency, if you will. If you just change your frequency, you can make fun of almost anything, which is, I would say, a useful tool given current world situations. And so, of course, Sirius Frequencies with me, as always, is Luna. How are you doing, Luna? Are you here? Are you there? Are you everywhere?
Yes, I'm everywhere, here, there, and everywhere, and centered like I should be. G'day, everyone. How you going? Hope you had a good week.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Sirius Frequencies.
Okay, well, let's talk about your week, though.
My week?
Yeah.
I was supposed to go to the gym.
Like maybe yesterday. Let's talk about yesterday week.
Yeah, I was supposed to go to the gym yesterday, Polly.
Let's get into that.
Yeah, okay.
And guess no, it's happened? Funny. I think, well, it's lighthearted, and I don't know.
All right, we'll start with that. My frequency drops.
If you're not too embarrassed.
No, I'm not embarrassed. Well, I'll start off with once in a blue moon. I have to start off with that. So we had a blue moon recently. And I remember growing up, everyone would say something, oh, that happens once in a blue moon. This happens once in a blue moon. And when the blue moon came, I thought, wow, that's once in a blue moon. I haven't had one of them for a long time. And people don't know, but I've been getting on a health kick, and I've been going back to the gym, and because I'm getting older, I need to build up more muscle. And yesterday I was supposed to go to the gym, and I got some news, and I've had a rough week, and I decided to get drunk and ended up not going to the gym, and I got drunk as a skunk once in a blue moon. And the worst part was one of my friends invited me online. So they got to see the drunk side of me, which is still the same, but just more of me. Anyway, I woke up this morning and remembered I had to do a show with Polly. So here I am. And I raised my frequency. Seriously, Polly, my frequency dropped. That's the one thing I noticed. My energy drops, like everyone knows that when they get drunk, right? What happens? It's fun. It's fun and it's liberating.
It's interesting because many people have one or two drinks. There seems to be like this sweet spot.
Yeah.
Like where you could, and I often use this sweet spot in a golf analogy. For anybody that plays golf, which probably isn't very many people listening to this show, but there's a sweet spot, or playing pool or bowling, or there's like a lot of different sports actually where you achieve this sweet spot of just the perfect amount of alcohol where it makes you better at what you're supposed to be doing, whether it's playing pool, bowling. There's a balance.
I went just past that balance.
Yeah. What I was gonna say is that it's very tricky to maintain that like perfect balance.
It is.
Yeah, and that's why they make so much money off of alcohol and stuff like that.
Everyone's trying to achieve that balance.
Right.
I need a few more goes to get that balance.
Exactly.
Seriously. Nice.
And so, okay, what happened? Did we have to call the police or anything, or?
No, I thought I was going to have to call an ambulance.
That's close.
That's
close.
That was funny. Yeah, that was funny. And I'll tell you something funny. This is kind of personal, but it was really funny.
Did you say you're never gonna drink again?
Yeah, I did.
Again? You said it again?
Again, you've
Yeah.
got to put that
Yeah.
in.
How many times have I said that? I'm never drinking again.
If you just say I'm never going to drink, you're supposed to say I'm never going to drink. You're not supposed to put the again on top of it.
Oh, okay. That's what I keep doing wrong.
Yeah, that's right. People, Polly, we say, if you listen to yourself talk, normal everyday talk when you're doing your everyday thing, because you're communicating with everybody else, right? And if you really listen to what people say, that's what I notice. We add these extra words onto what we're saying, and it actually blows away the intention of the beginning part. Like, I'm never going to drink again means that next time you're going to say it again. But if you never drink, yeah. So,
yeah, that's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
That's kind of dumb.
We do that.
Like, if you just get it out of the way. This is what I think. Just get it out of the way. Just drink as much as you. I mean, if you're already past the point, just get her done. Yeah, be sick the next day. Say to everybody, "I'm never gonna drink again. That's the worst decision I ever made in my life." And then next weekend, you'll do it again.
I won't be. No. All right, you know me. Everyone knows me better than that. That's why it was once in a blue moon. Anyway, the frequencies changed, and that's what it taught me, because it was like entering another world, one that I hadn't been to for a long time. That's exactly how it felt. I won't be going.
Wait a minute. No, let's hold on there for a second. What do you mean by that?
Entering another world. It was, Polly. It was like entering another world. Okay. So when I got to this, I'll explain it this way. When I got to that sweet spot you were talking about, I felt like I went through a doorway and I entered another world. It's exactly how it felt. The other world, how could I explain this? Well, perceptions were different, obviously, because I was intoxicated on alcohol. So everyone, you know that I'm pretty sensitive anyway. So I took that with me. And I had to allow, what I noticed, I had to allow a little margin for error in my body as I moved and spoke and everything, because I knew I was not centered anymore.
So you're aware of that, not centered, though.
That's why it wasn't pleasant. It's been such a long time, and it was like it knocked me out of center, one. So I had to make a margin. So I did everything carefully so I wouldn't fall over or accidentally.
See, no, I would say most people would not notice that. Like, you're looking at it from the standpoint of it knocking your center off, which, if you think about it, when you describe somebody who's had too much to drink, they can't walk straight. There's that line test, right? Like, you got to walk on the straight line to prove you're not drunk.
Because you're out of center.
Yeah, it's neat.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, well, not neat, but like cool correlation, if you will.
Yeah. And my hearing changed because it's like sounds like something's got their hands over my ears today. Maybe it got really sharp and I shut down a bit. I don't know. I'll have to analyse it more because, like I said, it was once in a blue moon. And who you used to be when you were young, you're still that person, but you're like a tree. You've got way taller and you've got many branches now. So going back to that was really, it was like entering another world. Once I figured, I know where I am. I was all right. Once I remembered where I was, and it was that world. And when you look at people that are intoxicated, you can see they're in another world.
Yeah, I find there's levels. Like there's I mean, I have a lot of friends who drink, but they have like there's noticeable points. Like, okay, he or she is at like a certain level of intoxication where I know if they just keep going, then they're gonna basically turn into what I would classify as a totally different person,
Kind of, yeah.
and probably end up getting sick and ill the next day.
I know you spoke to me last night. Was a totally different person.
Yeah. Wait, you're getting ahead of me, Luna.
Sorry.
I was
Oh,
gonna build up to that. No, I'm kidding. I'm so joking.
yeah, no, that's
But no, there are literally. I'm not saying you can tell this with everybody that enjoys alcohol, but there are some people that if you drink with them enough, you'll start to see like their personality changes.
yeah.
Like
Some people,
they like you could watch that. They don't even have to say anything. They could be standing there at the bar or sitting on a stool or whatever, not saying or doing anything. Once they cross that tipping point, though, you can see it. It doesn't matter what they're doing or saying. You can see it. It's like
into that world.
it's like a huge yellow or red flag. It just hangs over. Like, it's bizarre because like some people can just drink all night and doesn't really
Yep.
affect them the next day. And then there's some people that once they start, they just can't stop. They get absolutely inebriated. The next day, they're just hugging the toilet all day.
And there's people that don't remember. I knew a lady. As soon as she started drinking, it was like the next day her memory was totally wiped. That totally frightened me because I thought, yeah, wouldn't you like to account for those hours?
Well, that's a scary thought. Like for me at least, if you couldn't remember something, that's when you really need to like maybe dial it back a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I've met a lot of people. I've observed those things. What I truly noticed though, this morning when I went to wake up and get ready for the day and stuff, I went to raise my frequency, and man, it was so hard. That's when I realised how far I dropped down, because it was really just hard to get everything humming again. Even now I'm like, bleh. But yeah, it's definitely another world. Also, too, I was listening the other day to some fellas talk about. Oh, here I've got it. All right, some talk about native people, and some take alcohol and drugs and all that to go into other worlds and change their frequency, right? So they can see different things and advance their spiritual path. And yesterday when I got drunk, because some countries have native alcohol, we don't, our mob don't, but others do. I realised when I got drunk, oh yeah, it was like that too. I've entered another world, and my perceptions are different now. And I had a look to see what I could see. I didn't like it very much, I've got to tell you. But I had like a purge. It was like it gathered all the things that shouldn't be there and purged them out. So, and alcohol is like a disinfectant, right? Antiseptic, is it? It's like
Yeah.
yeah. And that's what I felt energetically, and on that frequency level. I felt that it went through, collected all the stuff that was at that vibration, and threw it all out. When I got up this morning, that's the relief I felt. It was like, well, that was worth it. For that reason, it was worth it.
Yeah, one of the ways that's sort of a little bit unorthodox to view alcohol as a substance is that it is like it can get rid of a lot of stuff that's not one. It's like a sterilization almost, which is and that's where you get things like tinctures, and it can also be like you can extract things using alcohol. But then when you use the alcohol to extract whatever it is you're extracting, you still have to ingest that same alcohol to get the
Yeah.
benefits from what you're doing. So it's a weird substance or chemical or
But it's also, it is pretty natural, right? Because it's
of
made
course, yeah, all of it's natural.
out of vegetables and stuff. There's even a plant in Africa that once a year the fruit goes alcoholic, and all the animals, the meat eaters and the non-meat eater animals, so you've got giraffes and lions and all that coming together, they all eat the fruit and have like a big party and all get drunk together and then go on their way because that fruit only lasts for so long.
Yeah, and like fermentation,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that's basically alcohol as well. Like the whole
yeah,
concept of, and so like it's a form of preservation.
yeah. It was interesting. It was an interesting event. And what it made me realise was a lot of people on the path keep their frequency high all the time, right? And we're up here, okay, on a high frequency, or you know, in this world, if you want to call it, instead of that world there. And what I realised was, if you stay up here, it's good. You're supposed to be up here, but every now and again, you have to take that, run it through the body, and go through all the lower frequencies and bring it back up. And that's what it does. It cleans it out. And that's what the alcohol taught me last night, was sometimes you have to visit those lower frequencies because they need cleaning out, and you got to go right round and back up again and get it all out. That's what I learned. So it wasn't for nothing. I didn't kill me brain cells for nothing.
Yeah, so good. So when I do eventually come down there to visit you on the other side of the world, which is a rectangle, by the way, we'll be able to go out for a beer and you won't get too hammered.
Oh, wait, I don't drink beer. You know, I remember having one beer. That puts me to sleep straight away. That's why I don't really drink. I realised how sensitive I was to alcohol. So, and different
Okay,
alcohol.
well, maybe we should touch on that. So
Yeah, so
you don't there's different forms of alcohol. So you don't like beer, what you call I think you call, if I hopefully I get this right with my accent, you call it beer.
beer. Yeah, beer. Beer.
So, but okay, then what do you drink?
Water.
Like you got to have like vodka or I mean, there's actually good Australian
Oh,
wine.
you want to know what I drank last night? Okay. What do I drink?
Yeah, we
I
need to
drank
zero in on this.
wild turkey rare. So it was a rare occasion, so I had wild turkey rare. I love wild
So
turkey. It's got that
what
orange
is that?
bourbon, isn't that bourbon or something like
It's
that?
whiskey. Okay.
Whiskey. What's the difference between bourbon and whiskey? It's the same thing.
It's the frequency.
It is a frequency. Different
It's the
alcohols.
frequency in which you drink it. No.
No, different alcohols have different frequency. Now,
No,
I didn't,
there really is a difference between bourbon and
and
there's sour mash, and then there's like legit whiskey. I think wild turkey would be like I think that's a Tennessee one. Like
I've had Tennessee one, yeah. Yeah, alcohol here isn't as liberal.
but that's a spirit.
Yeah, it is a spirit. Everything has a spirit, man. Even the rock has a spirit. So alcohol is going to have a spirit. Any drug or food has spirit. It has frequency. It has spirit. It's got some sort of living force in it.
Yeah, it's one of the three. It's part of the Holy Trinity. The spirit is 1/3 of the Holy Trinity, and you can basically take anything that exists in reality that's made of matter and break it down into those three components.
Yeah.
And it's cool because that's why they call it spirits, because the spirit, the alcohol that you're drinking when you drink rum or vodka or whiskey, is actually the alchemical representation, or what they would view it as, that's the spirit of the plant.
Yes. Yes.
Which is really, really cool. When you think about it, you're drinking the spirit of a plant. And in some cases, that spirit has been allowed to sit there for over 50 years or whatever it is when you age something, right?
Yeah.
And think like, well, you, like you said, you don't drink the beer. What about wine? Australia is known for wine.
Yeah, other people drink. I can't drink wine. Seriously, I don't know how people drink wine. Oh no, I can't drink wine either. I think it's horrible. I'd rather eat grapes. I'll just eat grapes. Everyone else.
You'd rather eat grapes, yeah.
Yeah, I'll just eat the grapes. You can have the wine. You can have your beer. Oh yeah. As far as the bourbon goes, well, I did say I wasn't going to do it again.
That's what everybody says. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. We said that. But it was really good to see the fruit. It helped me. Yeah, you look at things different every time you learn something, eh? And the things that you learn from, like, who would ever think that I got all that knowledge from just getting drunk last night, you know? I looked at it today before the review on all those different levels with mind, body, spirit, and went, oh, well, I see what's going on here. So I can understand why people use alcohol, spirits in different countries for their spiritual stuff, like the wine and other alcohols, depending on what culture you come from.
And just the idea that alcohol can be used as a really effective way to extract things from other plants.
Yes. Because herbal stuff, a lot of herbal oils and that you need, some of them you got to use alcohol to extract, like in medicinal herbal stuff. You need that alcohol to help extract whatever you're extracting. Especially the thicker it is, the more you need alcohol. Some you can just use water, but as the oil's thicker in the plant, you need the alcohol. So yeah, I can see its practical use. I was never a favour of alcohol, but I learned a lot last night. I really did. Yeah. I've got to tell you something really funny though. From the outside, everyone looking at me the way I was, it was probably hilarious. But I learned a lot. The thing that happened bad was my teenage kids went out. That's why I thought I'd have a drink, and I thought by the time they get back home, I'll be okay, because I was just going to go to that sweet point and come back, right? But that never happened either. I never got to the gym. They walked in halfway through. I'm like, are you home already? Yeah, we're only gone for an hour or two. Oh, no. I was like, don't look at me. And they're laughing their heads off at me. Look at Mum, like, don't laugh. It's okay. I'm going here. Because they've never seen it either. They're all grown up now, but like they've grown up, that's what makes it so funny.
So yesterday was the first time they got to see their mom shit-faced.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. How much is it? Okay, let's talk about levels of intoxication here, because some people can drink like, you know, a half a bottle of whiskey and be totally fine, whereas what I'm imagining is, because you're probably somebody who doesn't drink very often. When you do, it changes your frequency so much that it could have more profound consequences, or side effects, let's say.
Yeah. I basically had to leave my body.
So for you, I guess we're talking about tolerance here, I guess.
Yes. Yeah.
But what is it that, like, because I know some people the same size as you who can drink me under the table, and I'm not a big guy. 5'7", 130 pounds, soaking wet, maybe 140. And I've met people who are half my size, what I would say, and can just drink me under the table.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think it is that, like, because you obviously had a less than desirable consequence
Yes, yes.
from probably what I would say is, compared to most people, a negligible amount of alcohol. Um, how are some people, do you think, are able to just like plow through so much alcohol and it doesn't really affect them, and
I
it
think
doesn't seem to
it's
change their vibe, or like they're still able to function? What is that?
I'd say the biggest one is what their body's made of, their ancestral DNA. Because I found people that come from places like Germany, Scotland, and places like that, they can handle their drink, whereas people that like my mob, Australian, original Australians, original Native Americans, and a couple of others, we can't handle alcohol. It makes us stupid. Like, it's just not good, and it's something in your body. It's something in your body, you know. But there are people, you can build up a tolerance. Don't get me wrong, but just as an initial thing, it's either in your bloodline and you come from a lineage where alcohol was in that lineage, or you don't. And if you don't drink. Man, I'm telling you, they're saying, don't drink.
Well, there is a weird, well, maybe not a weird thing, but there is a correlation with the Native American population in North America. Uh, they have a huge alcoholism problem, and and this is from a long time ago, so maybe this information is ignorant, and I'm clearly not a medical professional or anything like that. But what I heard back in the early like 90s and mid to late 90s was that certain people's physiology process alcohol through the liver differently.
Yep.
And so, and it turned out that genetically, Native Americans in North America were more. This was what they were trying to suggest, at least, is that they were more susceptible to things like alcoholism, because their bodies didn't process. It was a foreign substance to their genetic history. You know what I mean? Like that. Uh, you would imagine the Native Americans in North America weren't like wandering around making, spirits, right? They're
Yep.
chasing food and staying alive and
Yep.
and things like that. And
Yeah. And
then
when
when
they
when colonialism happened and introduced alcohol, their
Yep.
physiology didn't know what to do with it, and it became a huge problem.
Yep.
And they actually used, I would say they actually used that problem to help them take land
Yep.
away from native populations.
They did the same here. We have the same non-tolerance for it. We didn't have any native alcohol. Like, don't get me wrong, these islands around us, there's one here, an island, they have this plant, it's alcoholic, it's a root, but what it does is it inebriates you, literally you can't move. If you drink too much and go past that sweet point, it actually numbs your whole body and you can't move. But they can drink because they still have a form of alcohol, but we never did. And that's what happens. Centuries and centuries of that in your body not having it, and then you try to have it, your body's not going to like it. As opposed to, the Germans and Scottish. Germans can drink beer and beer and beer and beer and beer and still sit there laughing. Don't know how. You Scots can drink Scotch and bourbon and that, and drink and laugh and laugh.
Yeah.
And I'd be asleep. How I dealt with it, I had to go and lay down. I went out of body and come back once my body had processed the alcohol. That's what happened.
Yeah, that's usually the cure-all, is go have a lie down. That's the cure-all.
Yeah, let your body process it. Because you can get, it is poison because of alcohol.
It's exactly what it is, poison.
That's what I like, yeah. poison.
I mean, at the levels we're talking about where it makes you feel ill, I would say anything is poison at that level.
Yeah. Well,
Just,
everything is.
yeah.
Anything's like that. If you have too many bananas and get too much vitamin B, it'll throw everything out of whack, out of balance again. It's just that alcohol is quicker and harsher. Okay, so the vibration of the frequency of alcohol, each one has a different frequency, I presume by what it's made by, because food has different frequencies. So you got, have you ever had sake, Polly? Did you happen to
Yeah, that's that gives me a headache like you wouldn't believe.
Gives you a headache, yeah.
Yeah, it's rice.
Yeah, so it's got that energy of rice in it. Yeah, different frequencies.
And well, my experience with alcohol is I'm a beer guy. I don't like hard alcohol, and rice is created like sake. It's a carbohydrate alcohol, like vodka. It's made from potatoes, like some kind of those alcohols that are made from starch and then fermented or processed down. I always react really not good. Like I'm not even a nice drunk when I've had too much of that stuff.
Yeah, that's the vibration of the.
But things like tequila, and even rum, totally different buzz. It's another good one is that. So tequila is one you can say with all the alcohol. Tequila is different. Everybody puts tequila on a different scale. It's just a different buzz. Another one is the one from Sweden. I can't believe I can't think of the name of it. I can't believe it. This is stupid. Absinthe. Thank you.
Oh,
yeah, it was. Yeah, that's why I couldn't think of it, because it was absinthe.
Is that what it does to you when you drink it? You go absent, and when you come back down,
apparently, yeah. Well, apparently, people hallucinate.
I know what world that takes you to.
Yeah, sorry, I was a little bit absent-minded.
Yeah, exactly. That's funny, man. That's funny.
But apparently, absinthe, they used to make it with wormwood. That's illegal now. But you would hallucinate. Totally different buzz, though. It's not like, like wine or beer. Like,
hey, I got a wormwood tree. How do you make it?
Yeah, I don't even know how you make absinthe, but it does. It does taste like licorice. So
I love licorice. Oh, yum.
Probably amaranth.
Don't ever give it to me then. Don't let me have it. I don't think you.
Yeah. We've already figured out your tolerance, Luna. We're not trying to get you drunk here.
Let me sniff the cap and you can have the bottle.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Oh, yeah. So that was a learning curve. Let's say that.
You got to do it once in a while.
Yeah. Like I said, I enjoyed the purge. Yeah. We'll see what happens in the future now.
Yeah, you won't hear that on any other channel, folks. Enjoy the purge. You won't hear that anywhere else. Only here on Sirius Frequencies will you hear "Enjoy the Purge." And by that we mean we'll hold your hair back for you.
I think my hair was tied up.
So what are you saying? We're useless?
Oh, dear.
Well, that sounds like a great last weekend. Or when did this happen? Yesterday?
Yesterday. Yeah, and guess what?
Yeah, but yesterday for you is today for me.
Today.
So
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Today. And by the way, it was 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So
I got to catch up.
Yeah, it was 4 o'clock yesterday when I started. I started drinking about 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh, so it was a day drinking thing.
It was an afternoon thing. Yeah. God help me if it had to happen in the morning. Oh, no. But today here in Australia is Father's Day, and I want to wish
No
all
way.
the Aussie men happy Father's Day, and all you fellas in another country, well, happy Father's Day, even though it's not Father's Day in your country, but happy Father's Day to all the lovely men out there.
I did not know that. And so I would also like to wish every backwards Aussie father a happy Father's Day.
And special cheers to all the single dads out there, because when you're a single parent, you're doing a good job. So yeah,
well, we'll say this: being a single dad's better than being a double dad.
Yeah, you'll get confused.
Yeah.
Oh, at least one can go out and get drunk while the other one's doing the parenting.
There you go.
And they don't have to see it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day. Yeah.
No
I'll
song
drink
for
to
that.
that. Cheers.
Yeah. Happy Father's Day to you.
All the Father's
Happy
Day.
Father's Day to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know it'd be great. I sent you that video with Angus Young describing this stuff. That's what you should play for Father's Day.
Okay, we're going to do that.
Because his mum put him on the plane.
His mum put him on.
It would. I think the Aussies will get the humor. And if you like AC/DC, well, fair use, people. This is a really good one, though.
All right, here we go. The technology share screen. Angus, I hope we enjoy this, people. And this week, I'm going to share it. Last week, I was watching thinking, what's going on? And realised I didn't press the share button, so I got it figured out this week. Here we go.
I mean, his mother put him on a plane once. He went to see his folks in Australia, put him on a plane. In London, the guy who was doing our tour manager went to collect him. He was going to meet him at the airport, and he got to the airport and he called us up and said, "No bot," So for like a week later, he gets a call from the airport, and Bond said, "I'm here. Can you come pick me up?" And the guy got there, and he's standing here. He's only got a pair of pants on. He's got no shirt. It's like the middle of winter, freezing. He's just got no shirt, no socks, and he's going, "Where you been? Everyone's been worried." And he says, "I don't know." But yet his mother had put him on the plane. She had seen him getting on the aeroplane, and he says he thinks he followed some girl off at. She got off the plane in Bangkok or something. He didn't know where he had been or what he got up there.
So clearly, Bon Scott had a different relationship with alcohol.
I reckon. And that's what I was talking about. I know people, they drink and that everything's blacked out, and it's like, what happened? I don't know.
Okay, but here's my question. Are you just using that as an excuse to not admit to stuff? Like, at what point do you get to the well, we could just blame it on alcohol, or we could admit our mistakes? At what point do we draw that line? And so when they asked Bon Scott, "Whoa, dude, where have you been for a week?" And he's like, "I don't know."
I don't know. Wouldn't you? I'd freak out.
He does know. He does know. He's just blaming it on alcohol, though.
It'd be like being abducted by aliens. You'd freak out.
Right.
I don't know where I was. What happened to me? Yeah.
Especially if your flight stopped in Bangkok. I wouldn't admit to that either.
When I heard that, I thought, ooh, they kidnapped him.
Yeah, exactly. You got to think about the flight path, too, here. And especially drinks on the plane, they flow like water.
Sparkles drink, yeah.
Yeah, so he probably thought he was getting off in Australia, ended up in Bangkok. Yeah.
It's still warm there. Everyone's wearing thongs. He thought he was in
yeah, and he doesn't understand why it took him 3 weeks to take a flight from the UK to Australia.
That That was because the world was flat.
Right.
Everyone panicked when they got up there. No.
Yeah, I thought I was going to be there 2 weeks ago.
Oh, that's shocking, man. I'm not getting on a plane now.
Oh, don't look up how drunk pilots are then. Yeah, especially the Boeing ones.
I thought they were real clean like doctors because they had a really important job.
Oh, don't look up the drunk surgeons.
Oh, I don't want to know.
Yeah, no, it's a very powerful substance.
It is. See, what actually, you know what's always baffled me? Why is it so readily available? Like,
yeah,
if you wanted something else, it's not readily available, right? Why is that so readily available?
I think that it's probably a useful tool. I mean, literally, they are. I think at the end of starting tomorrow, I think actually, in Canada, you will now be able to buy beer and wine in a gas station, which is like probably for a lot of people listening, that's no big deal. You could just buy beer and wine in any convenience store. But where I live, that it is totally illegal until tomorrow, and everybody's like really, really happy about it. And then half the people are really, really angry about it because their lives have been destroyed by alcohol or whatever, and they think that but by making it more available, it's going to destroy more lives. I see the argument, but I don't agree with it. It's a personal thing. Clearly, we've already established that it's a personal thing. I mean, you have your personal experience with it, and it did something to you that probably wouldn't, if I had the exact same amount, it probably wouldn't have affected me in the same way. You know what I mean? Right. You know what I mean?
Isn't he going, what's wrong with you, Lena?
Exactly. Well,
I have to tell you, Polly, my drinking partners have just popped into the chat room here because
no way.
I went online, and they got to see they got to see.
Oh, get him in here. Get him in the chat room.
Oh, okay. Hey, Malia and Thriller, do you want to jump on if I put the thing in there? They want to know about. Oh, you're gonna pay out on me, Polly. Pay out on Polly. All right, I'll do that. Hang on. Oh, it looks like we're getting visitors. Where's my doorbell? I need a doorbell, bro.
No, not a doorbell. You need one of those knockers. Yeah. But I think they're more effective.
All right. So if you want to jump in and be witnessed and be a bear witness, please feel free.
Yeah.
This is Polly. So but seriously, it was a really good learning curve. It was funny. Avon calling ding dong. Yeah, I need you know how hard it is to get a good ding dong bell buzzer noise? I went looking. Yeah, I need to get out in the studio and.
We're gonna have to edit that, Luna.
Yeah. Edit what? Bing bong. What I did wrong.
Do you know how hard it is to get a good ding dong? No, I don't actually, Luna. Explain.
Okay, so what else have we got for these good people? Let's move along, Polly.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh dear. You're making me aware of what I'm saying. All
that's
right.
Okay. We'll deal with those consequences tomorrow, just like alcohol.
Yeah, exactly. When you get up in the morning and go, you know what? I really don't want to think about what happened. Yeah. I just know what happened. Yeah.
Did I really say that in front of millions of people? Oh, no, it wasn't millions. It was only 4.
All right. So the address is in there if anyone wants to jump in. All right. So what else have we got? So, yeah, check your frequencies, especially after you've been out partying. Because what I realize, you don't want to run around in low energy. You want to keep your energy up, especially in this time. It's all about that stuff at the moment, Polly, you know. With everything that's going on, the whole point is to stay above it all.
Yeah. Well, here's one thing I want to ask you. Being in North America, probably as far away as I could possibly get from another human being, you're in the next day. That's how far away we are. So are there any sort of how do I explain this?
Yes, there are.
Are there any like media propaganda sort of pushes that are anti-Chinese?
Not that I'm aware of, because I don't watch mainstream TV or watch the news or anything. I leave that up to other people. But all I can tell you is that around the corner at the post office, about 2 years ago or 3 years ago, 2 Asian girls bought the post office, and no one wanted to go in there. Okay, and I went in there. Me and my partner went in there, and we made friends with them. They're very lovely girls. And then slowly over time, everyone realised that they were nice people, and everyone goes there again. But that's how we are. If something new happens and you're from another country, we'll kind of suss you out to see what you like first before we start going back to that service. Oh, ding dong, we've got a visitor. We've got a visitor, Polly.
Who is the visitor?
Jules.
Oh, no way.
I come to crash your party.
Hi, Jules.
Oh, by the way, people, this is Jules. And tomorrow, us girls will be doing a show on Jules's channel, The Bitter and the Sweet. I'm going to put a note up so you can all get the address.
Oh, yeah, Jules, she's a busy girl. She's coming on the Polynation broadcast tomorrow for 1989, too.
True, I didn't know that.
My schedule has been changed, and I'm just here and there and everywhere in between.
Cool. So, did you hear about Alcoholic Frequencies? You did, yeah, you were here. I
don't tune into those often. I don't drink a lot, but when I do, it's usually a social thing. But I've never hurled myself into another dimension.
Yeah.
And what
do you mean?
Honestly,
hurled yourself? Hurled yourself into another dimension?
I literally did hurl myself into another dimension.
I think I'm gonna spew.
Oh my! I sent Polly a little picture of a guy in a bath the day after. That was me. Yeah, there you go.
But
YouTube,
I mean, it makes getting back on spirits. It makes sense. I mean, if the spirit moves you, I mean, it's spirit. I mean, it's a spiritual. I mean, you can tune into different frequencies with it.
Yeah.
And I was going somewhere with this, but I heard a knock and I lost my train of thought. Oh, but how would, I mean, Luna, what's your opinion, or I shouldn't say opinion, perhaps thoughts on, I mean, consuming spirits, but we are also just spirits in the material world?
Yeah, be careful. Yeah, it'll affect, like I said, it made me, I was in another world, a different perception. People talk about us traveling to other worlds. Well, what did you do? I took alcohol and I went to another world. I had a different perception to my ordinary perception. And I had to walk around in that world till it was over. That was the hard part.
I'm probably gonna have to. I mean, for something stronger. I mean, alcoholic spirits don't do it. I need some DMT or something.
Alcoholics. Well, that's another thing. I've actually met people that have passed over that were alcoholics, and they hung around, and you can smell them. That's how you know they're around. You can smell alcohol, and then you look around. There's no one there, but then you know that that's someone that had passed over. That's a spirit now. That was an alcoholic, and you can still smell alcohol. We've witnessed that, and we actually helped that spirit move on. I should tell you the story. It's actually funny. All right. So we rented a house. It was a nice house, and it had a built-in bar. And when we moved in there, we thought, even though the house is clean when you move into it, we still like to clean the house. So we cleaned the house. We got the carpet cleaned. We could smell alcohol. We thought it was alcohol that was spilt on the carpet near the built-in bar. So we cleaned everything up. Living there after a while, we could keep smelling the alcohol, but it wasn't just around the bar now. As we were living in the house, you could smell it in different parts of the house. And then we twigged onto it. Oh, whoever lived here was an alcoholic, and obviously they're still here. So we did what we do, and we passed him over to Spirit World because we said, what are you doing here still, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, we had to move because here in Australia, rented houses, you've got to move every so many months, right? They put the rent up and all sorts of things. So everyone's constantly moving if you haven't got a constant place to live. So as we were moving, we had to pack everything up. We cleaned the house before we left, which you do before you move out. The real estate guy comes rushing up to us. I don't know what you've done, but the house looks and feels and smells so clean. No one's ever been able to do that before. And if you ever want to rent a house, we'll help you out. And we just looked at each other and we're laughing because we're thinking it was just an alcoholic spirit man. And we moved him on. There was nothing wrong with the house. So that's just a little story about alcohol and spirits. I don't know if that answers your question, Jordan.
It does. I just wanted to hear more of your fun times.
So
because I'm old and prude, I don't have fun anymore, so I have to hear about your adventures.
I have to recommend fun to everyone.
Sounds like you need a drink, Jules.
Oh, I am drinking some coffee. It's all good. Where I lack in the alcoholic spirits, I partake in others. So it's a even flow.
Oh, the PPP, yeah, for sure. PPP, by the way, everybody listening, thanks for listening. And PPP. I don't think we planned on talking about alcohol this long.
No, I was just thinking that.
But I don't mind.
I didn't. Well, so we can move along because I want to talk about some frequencies.
Yeah, and there's there's also 2 other videos I sent you, Luna. We don't have to get to today, but I just feel like I'll just kind of briefly glaze over when I hear a politician talking about creator and nature in the way that I heard in those videos that I sent you. I think it's noteworthy.
Okay.
I wish more politicians would have that.
Was that the first one you sent me? The reason that?
There's 2 of them.
Yeah, one's all religions have this, and the first one is.
Yeah. It doesn't matter which one you play. They're both good.
All right, let's listen to them. And I wanted to play an actual frequency so people can hear an actual frequency. And,
what, like a note?
Yeah, they're called tones. They're plain frequency. It's just a tone. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So I wanted to play one of them. All right, so we'll go off with this first. Hang on, I'll just share my screen. Share my screen. Yeah, this is cool. Okay, let's do this.
We protect the environment is because there's a spiritual connection. There's a love that we have. I got into the environment because I wanted this connection to the fishes and the birds and the wildlife and the whales and the Purple Mountains majesty. And that, I understood that the way, God talks to human beings through many vectors, through each other, through organized religion, through the great prophets, through the wise people, the great books of those religions, but nowhere with the kind of detail and texture and grace and joy as through creation. And when we destroy nature, we diminish our capacity to sense the divine, understand who God is and what our own potential is and duties are as human beings.
When we destroy nature, we degrade our own ability to experience the divine.
It's not about quantifying stuff. That's what the devil does. Nature enriches us economically and spiritually and culturally and historically. It connects us to those 10,000 generations of human beings that were here before there were laptops. The reason that we protect the environment is...
Oh, I love that, Polly.
Yeah,
so
connects us to the people that were here 10,000 years before we had laptops.
Yeah, it's so true. Like, I was listening to a thing about trees. People are starting to become aware of this, that trees, their significance.
Yeah.
When I was really young, they told me there used to be giant trees, which there were, and I think you still got some over in America, and some trees were magically endowed. That's what they told me. Some trees are magically endowed.
There are trees in North America that are over 2,000 years old. I know that.
Yeah.
There's probably ones that are even older.
And they should knowledge.
You would need, to hug this tree, you would need probably 12 people, at least, just to hold hands and hug the tree, like around the circumference of the trunk. That's how many people you'd need, at least.
Wow, that's amazing.
It kind of is. And when you're like, let's say you are a tree hugger, which is kind of got a stigma to it. I get it. I understand where that stigma comes from, the whole tree hugger thing. But if you're literally holding hands with somebody and on the other side of that tree, those people are holding hands with those people on the other side of that tree that you can't see around because it's so big. It's so big. It's like you're simulating what the root system would be like through your holding hands with the person on your left, the person on your right. It's going to go all the way around the circumference of that trunk.
Yep.
And that's what you like. That's the only way you can hug that tree. It's with that many people.
Well,
so sometimes how I wanted to tie that back into spirits is sometimes in order to learn or appreciate something or get the most medicine out of something, you do that same thing when it comes to alcohol. It's the spirit. The spirit can be a guide.
Yeah, I have a different view with trees. You don't actually have to hug them to connect with them. We as a species like to do that. It's like a little kid running up and grabbing you on the leg, hugging your leg. With animals, how sometimes, especially cats, they don't want you to touch them. They just want you to sit next to them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? A lot of animals are like that. They'll commune with you, but they're not huggy like us. There are times for it where animals are very loving and they'll hug you and jump all over you, right? But there's those times where they'll just sit next to you and just want to commune with you. If you do that, just sit under a tree. You don't have to touch the tree. You just sit near the tree or under the tree, and you can connect with the tree the same way. And just like an animal would, it'll sense your presence, and you'll feel this. Trees actually pass knowledge on, and that old saying about wooden knowledge and all that, that's true. I remember I was studying once, and my head's not real geared for studying, but I had to do it, so I went and did it. And we went to this place where there were a couple of 100-year-old fig trees, right? Anyway, I had this bright idea to go and sit under this giant fig tree and study my paperwork. You know, I sat there and it was like the tree helped my mind to understand the paper that I was reading. I read it that fast and understood it. I got up and went and asked the teacher for another one, and everyone just looked at me and went, "Yeah, I know, it's the tree." And he gave me another paper, and I went and sat under the tree. And fair income, it gave me this kind of open-minded knowledge to understand what I was reading. It was a weird experience, but
Yeah, well,
to do that.
If you look at spirits from a sort of an objective point of view, the spirit is the concentration of that plant. That's the fermentation of it, right?
Mhm.
It's a concentrated idea of that plant. You can over concentrate it,
You can. Mm.
as we've seen.
Yeah. Yeah, even in medicinal stuff, like herbal stuff.
Yeah, even in the herbal
concentrated
stuff as well. They
and
try
very
to.
strong. Yeah.
There's so much money to be made.
Oh, you
That's
take money away. Money
yeah.
destroys the concept of all those good things.
That's usually what happens when we find something cool. Money just takes the coolness of it and sells it, and usually ends up bastardizing or destroying what the original use is supposed to be.
Yeah, what comes to mind, remember that cartoon where there was a forest of those fairy things? I forget what it was called. There was a forest of fairy things, and then when they found out that makes nice jumpers, they kind of cut all the trees down till they were nearly non-existent. And it was all fun. I forget what the name of the show was. Jules might remember. But yeah, money destroys all the natural concepts because it's used wrong. But that's all right. Everything's about to change.
It's like money is like, if you could describe the opposite of a tuning fork,
Yeah.
that's what money is. It's anything to make that tone that was a perfect tone in nature was perfect, and money just makes it dissonant and unpleasant, and it doesn't reverberate as long. And money is
It's more instant.
it's like money is one of those, like, it's like an anti-frequency.
Well, it's also a currency.
Well, that's what I mean. It's anti-frequency. It's currency. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, spot on, Jules.
The electromagnetic current, electromagnetic energy. That's frequency based, isn't it?
Well, yeah. I mean, all energy is frequency based.
Yeah.
But yeah, electromagnetic. You can get really deep down rabbit holes with numbers and all that electromagnetic stuff. But what the point that I really want to drive home here is, and I've never thought of money in this way before, but money is the anti-frequency. That's all it is. It's anti-frequency.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if it's not anti-frequency, if it's currency, then it keeps moving. It's a frequency that keeps moving, and and then again, with the person receiving it, it's their vibration that puts in that money.
Right.
And
they're being robbed.
Power when she gives it its currency.
Yeah, it's so. Yeah, and they're being robbed. The people that make the most money are being robbed the most.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, I agree with Tim. The philosophy of money. It's supposed to be an aid, not a means. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be an additional thing, not a main point. It's become the main thing, like water. You know.
It's because we were born into it. It's the slavery that we were born into.
It's like air.
Yeah.
I mean, I was muted, but I was going to ask, I wonder what frequency that money printing press vibrates on.
Oh, he goes, oh, yeah,
It's
nodding one.
probably.
Ha, ha, ha. It could be.
I think, wait, Jules, do that again. Let me sit on my speaker.
We in our culture, old days, the way that it was run, if I was doing a deal with you, Polly, say you had some fish and I had, I don't know, some medicine, and we bartered, like we exchanged gifts. And you had more fish than I did medicine. I still kind of owed you a bit more. So what we did is next time that we met and did an exchange, I'd bring something else to make up for the last time when my bit was a bit less. Do you know what I mean?
Sounds good. Yeah, sounds good.
And that's how it was. And if you didn't, you had to answer to the rest of the people. Like, what are you doing? You're ripping your brother or sister off you. You can't be doing that. It's got to be made even. Equal exchange. Is what they call it, equal exchange. And money was supposed to be an easy way of equal exchange, but somehow it changed from that to the life force of the fucking world. You know what I mean? And it's wrong.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And then we get things like debt. Like, what kind of a thing is debt? Really? Okay.
Well, now we're really lowering
we're gonna help you, but you now you owe us this.
Yeah.
You're in debt.
So that's a lowering of the frequency.
It's anti-frequency.
I mean, see, and depending on how long conversation goes, I could debate on that, because coming into this world, when that birth certificate is signed in capital letters, that created you as a corporation. There's too many similarities of a birth certificate and a ship pulling in port.
You know, there's another one. There's an actual real birth certificate, and it doesn't have what it has on the one we have. And if you made a straw figure of yourself and stuck it out the front and stuck your birth certificate to it, that's who they can speak to. Because that's who it involves. It's not actually you.
Right. The straw man.
Mm-hmm. I say want to make straw men.
That's a real thing. The straw man's a real thing.
Yeah, and it's in capital letters. So never put your name in capital letters, because the real birth certificate, your name isn't in capital letters.
My birth certificate, my name is not in capital letters.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be. But yeah, there's big tricks there. I leave it up to the more. There are people that deal with that stuff and are very fluent at it. They know their stuff. So I let them handle it. But just to be aware of it is good for everyone to be aware of them things. Oh, look, I've got a visitor.
Yeah, it's definitely better to be aware than ignorant.
Yeah, you have to be aware.
What I'm curious is, we have all these frequencies, and what we've alluded to is anti-frequencies.
Yep.
Is there a way to use frequencies or anti-frequencies to mitigate or alleviate, if you know what I'm saying? Like negative things that are happening or being influenced. Is there a way to use frequency to mitigate or maybe even counteract completely? You know what I mean? Like, you can have an opposite frequency, and then so it would counteract it, and then there would just be no frequency.
Yeah, nullify it somehow.
Yeah.
I presume you can. Polly and Jules, I'd like to introduce you to Thriller James that I met last night at a party while I was drunk.
Everything was fine. It was, yeah.
I'm a bit more
I don't
calm.
judge.
I'm not so bold.
Yeah, we're a nutty crowd over there.
Yeah.
We have fun, talk, whatever comes up.
Cool. So yes, Polly, there can be, you can raise the frequency, you can nullify the frequency and hit it with a different frequency, but you also have to be careful of mixing frequencies because they can do things to you as well. It's a bit like
you could potentially be accidentally amplifying an unwanted frequency.
You can.
Yes, just think Ghostbusters, don't cross the streams.
Don't cross the streams, exactly.
Yeah, you get it.
Yes.
Yep, that's it. So you got to be careful when it's mixed. I'm going to play...
But Egon says we can cross the streams this one time. Egon said it was okay.
All right. Rest in peace, Egon.
I presume that sometimes there would be times. Depends what you're mixing and what the situation is.
Egon, you said crossing the streams was bad.
He crossed the stream. What can you... What?
All right, so I got a 639 hertz frequency, a 417, pure tone. I got a 528. Well, we'll do 528. That's Mother Earth's frequency, right? That's around that. So hang on, I'll just set it up for you. I won't play it for too long because, like I said before, when I've played frequencies to people in my company, I've had different people react differently. So I'm going to play it for, I don't know, a quarter of a minute or half a minute maybe, or not even that, depends. And then I'll turn it off. Let me know how you feel, fellas, and people in the chat room, if hopefully you can hear it properly. And we'll sit here. Okay, so here we go, and I'll turn it up. I've just got to do some magic stuff here. Here we go, people. All right. Ooh, did you feel that? Did you hear it?
I did. It wasn't offensive, but I kept waiting for this is a special warning from the weather thing.
Just a little bit lower, huh?
All right, I'll just play another one just so you can hear the differences, and hopefully I won't get in trouble. I won't get in trouble for it. Let's do 852, which is higher. We're going up higher now. Grab a hold of your spirit, everybody. You can't hear that yet, can you?
Yeah, I think that frequency might be a little...
Yeah, hang on. I've got to do some magic. Pressing buttons. What are we at? Here we go.
It's like a dog whistle.
Yeah, it is, eh?
Can't hear that one. I can hear that.
That puts it in this order. That's not discomfort, but uncomfortable, that one. So there you go. Wow,
a little tingly on that one.
Pop my eardrum. So there's two raw frequencies, right? They can be hidden behind any music, any speech, behind traffic noise,
behind lights that light your room.
I don't know about other people, but when everything's real quiet at night and everything settles down, I can actually hear different frequencies in the air for a day.
Yeah, some people call that tinnitus.
Oh, I know they do, but that's only if it stays on one hum, right? As you just heard, they're different frequencies.
Right. Yeah, what I'm saying is the people that call it tinnitus have misdiagnosing.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, yeah. Or
mean,
you felt something.
I've had tinnitus years ago, and it's gone, and every now and then, and it's not a constant thing. It's a random, sporadic. I will, like Luna says, when you're still and peaceful, there's the.
You hear things. Yeah.
It's not like
When-
you're. I don't know necessarily if I'm hearing things. More
Your
like
body.
I'm feeling the vibration.
Yeah.
No, but if you think about it, when people describe the human body as a biological antenna,
We're electrical.
it's
That's
yeah,
what I'm saying.
we're able to tune into certain frequencies at certain times, and sometimes you need to be in a certain state, and sometimes you don't, and that's when you hear these frequencies that you don't normally hear all the time, is because you're in a certain state, ready to receive. You're in a receptive state, like an antenna.
That makes so much sense. After I meditate, that's when I feel, or like she was saying, like you don't hear it, you just kind of feel it. I feel it after meditation when I'm just quiet my mind. Wow, that makes sense.
Right. And if people know that that's how frequencies work in the human brain, wouldn't that be a useful tool to, I mean, think about it, to do whatever, quell a population or quiet an idea or inflame an idea.
Yep.
I mean, the human body, I mean, it's a wonder itself, but it's the pure form, the natural form of advanced technology.
Exactly.
And I say this because we were talking about antennas. That's our hair.
Mm-hmm.
The cameras would be our eyes, our
Yep.
ears are satellites,
Yep.
sensors are our nose, our generator is our heart.
And
Yes.
what
brain
what
is
are,
the
what are we
computer.
trying to build too? We're trying to build artificial intelligence.
Our brain is the
We're-
computer, and our virtual reality is the pineal gland.
Yeah. We're just trying to mimic.
Wow,
So
that's awesome.
importantly, we're trying to mimic what is already here. And we're trying to mimic it in a way that is relatable. So our primitive lizard brain can make sense out of it.
I'm gonna say I'm not a reptile, but yeah, I am. I have the reptile brain.
I think Thriller wanted to say something there.
Oh no, I was saying that's interesting. Wow. Yeah, what she explained.
Yeah. I'm typing in the chat room and I forgot.
By the way,
Sounds like the ice cream truck.
Thriller James, nice to meet you. Cool to have you on the show.
Yeah, very nice to meet
too,
you.
Polly. Nice to meet you.
So,
Thank you.
Yeah. And what concerns me is all this little new technology we have, 5G, the phones, those frequencies, you can hear them. Like they amplify them, but they're not. I don't think they're the ones we played, which connect you to a higher spirit and put you on the same level as the earth. I think they're not nice.
They're
ones.
audible. Yeah. You're
Yeah.
right, Luna. They're audible.
They are audible if you listen.
It's a foreign
It-
voltage that our bodies aren't used to. And I
Yeah.
think people know that, like he was saying, trying to destroy it.
And,
Well, think about how much people are used to being in a state of silence. Like I mean, I can't even think of other than me being alone at home, trying to go to sleep. That's the only instance in my physical reality where silence is a part of the equation. You can't even buy silence now. It's like you literally have to go out of your way to find it. Silence is a frequency. It's one of the most expensive ones now. because
It's
you can't
funny
find it.
you say that.
I can't even say that I have pure silence because there's always the fan kicking on when I'm sleeping.
Exactly.
There's always traffic going by. There's always
There's a
cat
noise. Yeah.
something. There's always something in the background.
You
I
know,
don't think I've ever true silence. I don't think I've actually experienced it.
I have. It's kind of eerie. But I go to the bush for silence. But really, when I go to the bush, it's not silent because I can hear the birds, I can hear the animals, I
Right.
can hear the trees. Like I can hear, but to me, that is silence because it's just them that I can hear, not people and people's machines and stuff like that. But
I don't think people that have been like, born or raised into the society that we currently find ourselves in would be comfortable with silence.
probably not.
I
And
think
silence,
I think most people would probably be very uncomfortable with silence.
silence, yeah. And you know, that's funny because even myself, I used to potter around the house and have no music or anything. Now I'll put a show on like this and listen to it while I'm doing stuff. And
Yeah.
I've made a point lately of not doing that because I realise that I've started to get accustomed to no silence. And I didn't want that. I wanted just just silence. So I could hear Creator better, I suppose, because that's a quiet voice.
Oh, I have headphones on when I'm around the house.
Mm-hmm.
My neighbors
Same.
never hear me. They like have to knock on the door to make sure that I'm still alive because I play the music loud when I'm around the house doing stuff. Raise the vibration.
And Tim's right. If it goes dead quiet in the bush, there's something wrong. I've been in the bush when it's gone dead quiet.
Yeah.
And the silence sets up like a room, right? Talking about walking into other worlds in another room.
Even
silence.
the crickets shut up.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's a totally true
Everything
statement.
stands
I remember
Like nothing's
just
moving.
I'll go ahead. I'll wait for James to finish.
No, it's okay. I'm just saying, yeah, like that eerie where like everything just stands still.
Yeah,
It's pitch quiet.
it's true.
It's
I
weird, but
experienced it when the eclipse happened a few months ago. We weren't even in the path of a total the total darkness. And just in that moment when the sun was partially gone, all the birds went quiet and it got a chill. I mean, definitely that happens.
Yes. To me, that's like an anti-frequency. It's the opposite of a frequency. Like I mean, think about it, like it's the moon going in front of the sun and then everything shuts up. Like, how does everything know to shut up? It's not like everything shuts up every night, like the sun goes down every day, comes up every morning, and animals don't react the same way as they do when there's an eclipse.
It's
Like
true.
what is that?
It's like everything pauses, like the energy's like just different. Completely around the world.
I
There's
think
a
it's
lot
You guys want to hear a
the
far out
opposite of a
thought I have?
frequency.
Yeah.
So I have this far out thought of the moon and Earth and Saturn. And the idea came from, I'm not taking the credit for this. The idea, it's David Icke's idea, but basically when the moon was brought in, it was like a receiver from Saturn that the moon kind of was a frequency adjuster, kind of like a radio coming to Earth. So the frequency of Earth, the moon was there to bounce off it to receive it from Saturn. A lot of the occult influences come from Saturn.
I like the idea that all the planets in the solar system used to be closer together.
Same.
And Saturn used to literally, like, to humans 35,000 years ago, Saturn used to look like another sun in the sky. And as we get older and older and older, everything keeps spreading out farther and farther.
Well, it's close to the size of the sun. It's just so far away.
Right. So, yeah, even take all those mathematical formulas and apply them. What would once be the size of the sun 4 million years ago, if it was 400 million times closer, would just be Mars, you know?
True.
Sorry, I had to leave the room. We're talking about planets and that, the frequencies. Oh, everyone went silent. Okay, where are we, everybody? Do you want to listen to that other thing that you gave me, Polly?
Yeah, if it's the, yeah, sure, the RFK one about yeah, he makes some good points. Religion and observable science.
The organized religions that we know of today, the central revelation of every one of those religions always occurred in the wilderness. You know, Moses had to go into the wilderness to hear God's voice and see the burning bush. He had to go to the wilderness of Mount Sinai to get the commandments. Muhammad had to, who was a city boy from Mecca, had to go to the wilderness of Mount Hera. Buddha had to go into the wilderness, wander for years, and then sit under the Bodhigaya tree to get his first revelation of nirvana. And Christ had to spend 40 days in the wilderness to discover his divinity for the first time. And then all of Christ's parables come from nature. I'm the vine, you are the branches, the mustard seed, the little swallows, the scattering the seeds on the fallow ground, because that is where we sense the divine. God talks to us through the fishes, the birds, the leaves. They're all, words from our Creator. That is why we preserve nature. Yes, it's not because of the quantity of carbon.
I feel what you said so deeply, I can hardly even express it. Thank you for saying that.
All of the
Oh, man, I so agree with that, 100%. Happens to me all the time.
I
Yeah,
follow
kinda-
them on Facebook.
Kind of fits in with what we're talking about.
Yep, it does. Yeah, if I'm out of sorts or I've had bad news, first thing I do is go out to nature, because I know that that's where Creator can talk to me, and all the insects and animals and plants.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And that's where you get your answers from.
Yep. It's where you get your answers from.
Sorry, my
And
feel
then
most
quiet.
at
Oh,
peace.
I go there for quiet. It's not quiet though, but the noise that comes from there is good for you. It nurtures your energy and nurtures your spirit and calms your body. There's nothing like it.
Yeah, well, the noise you're describing, it's like predictable noise, like almost though. So it's not like a noise where you have to experience it and hope for the best kind of thing. It's a noise that, like, I hate to say it, but it's like white noise. If you're really connected with nature, you get this white noise sense of sound that it's not silent. You hear birds, different kinds of birds all over the place, but you're able to listen to it in a way that just you're able to deduce what's going on. Like, hey, I hear a blue jay over here, and or a crow over there. You know what's in between is just a normal frequency of existence. But if you hear that blue jay, start like, yakking like it's, it's out of place, then the blue jay is pointing something out to other animals and whatever is listening around it. Like, hey, here's what's going on here. And nature does that in real time through think about any frequency you can imagine. It's not just sound and sight, it's smells and like plants even do it with, like, when they decide to bloom. like that's what. Sorry, my cat is mauling me right now. Hi, Zoe. Get
When we were talking
Get off.
earlier about going into other worlds, when I'm in nature and you sink in with it, you sit there quietly long enough, absorb it in, and then you sink into it and become a part of it. That's like entering another world.
Yeah.
And what I wanted to tell you, here in Australia, and those Aussies that are listening, probably might understand what I'm saying. And if they haven't, they can go and listen to it and find out themselves. Basically, in summer, it's very noisy. Everything's alive and moving around. And if you listen to the insects and the birds, and you've heard our traditional music, the didge and the clapsticks, you'll actually hear they're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what our people did. They listened to the nature, and then the instruments are like nature, because the cicadas and the birds, they do the songs they sing. It's the rhythm, and I think it's just like a ditch.
They make the same. Yeah, they make the same noise. You could take all of those nature sounds and keep dividing them in half as far as like frequency goes. So like a cicada makes whatever a noise of that we can hear, a noise of, just pick a number of certain frequency. And all the branches and the trees around that cicada making the noise, the echoes, everything, the nuances of the leaves around it and everything, all boil down to a frequency. And that frequency, they're dialed into that frequency. They want to make a noise that's dialed into that frequency so that it encourages more life. That's the whole point of what I would say. Well, most animals make noises based on that. It's either a form of self-defense or propagation. Like it's either self-defense or, hey, we need to mate, kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
I just got a message saying my internet is having trouble connecting. I don't even know if I'm still online.
You're here.
I'm still here.
Yeah.
Cool.
Still good here.
Mine just said the same thing on top of my screen.
Yeah.
Saying low data mode.
Oh, wonder what's happening there. I wonder what we've done.
California and Australia connected.
Shut up, everybody. Yeah, whatever.
And you know, Polly, you were talking earlier about the frequency of laughter. It is so healing. It is so connecting. Even animals laugh. Like if you listen, they laugh. People go, oh, they don't laugh. Yes, they do. You just got to listen.
Especially
we have
those
to do a
hyenas.
show on that.
Hyenas, yeah.
We've got to do a show on animals laughing.
Yeah.
The whole show is we're just gonna scour the internet or what Charles Darwin. We're gonna scour Charles Darwin's brain and come up and just let people hear how nature laughs.
Yeah, that'll be, and the frequency it's on. Woo-hoo.
That'd be a good show.
Yeah.
Let's do that next week.
Or are you going to do all the searching?
Yeah, I fucking will. Yeah, I will. I will.
Yeah. There you go, everyone. Join us again.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be cool, Polly. Don't forget, I will, because I'm not in the right frame of mind today.
I've already got footage of a laughing albino rhinoceros.
Wow.
Okay. That's different. Chuck the
Polly, you told me you weren't going to show that footage of me at the party last week.
The reason why it's laughing is because somebody called it a unicorn.
Oh, right. I'll tell you what I found. I found something. I've got to find it now. Hang on. My files. Where are we?
I call a seahorse more of a unicorn than a rhinoceros.
I found this. I thought it was cute. It's got to do with a bird. One moment while I pop it up. Stop. Okay, I'm going to share this. One moment. Talking about dancing and animals. Here.
You guys hear about? Oh, I'm sorry, you're talking.
No, you'll go for it.
About an hour before sunrise. Like, do you ever notice how birds are louder and nature's just more louder before the sun comes up?
Oh, yeah.
I noticed I'm like kind of in the city and the country kind of, and I hear them like every day. Kind of. I just saw something that's one of the most loudest.
And you know that that frequency when you're listening to the birds is one of the most highest frequencies in the world.
I've often wondered about that. Like,
doesn't.
I think maybe it has something to do with like so the birds, they always sing at certain times of the day. What if they just know something about the atmosphere that makes it better for them to sing at that time of day? Like it's more effective. Yeah, they can transmit farther during that time of the day or something along those lines.
That makes sense.
And that's why they always wait until like that's why it's always like you go anywhere around the world, it's when the sun is just coming up over the horizon, and birds go crazy.
Yeah,
it's either that or they're singing praise and I made it through the night.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking.
The sun's up.
Yeah, you're not wrong, Jules.
Tweet. Hey Ben, are you okay? Tweet.
Yeah.
I made it.
I'm still alive, exactly. Yeah, and everybody's just like celebrating to everybody else that, hey, I'm still alive, and they're like, yeah, I'm still alive too.
Maybe they are. I celebrate each morning. I mean, I listen to them chirp outside, but I celebrate with a cup of coffee every morning.
Yeah, I'll show you this thing. Here we go. Check this out.
Where I've been, I searched to find a love within.
That's awesome.
I came back to let you know, got a thing for you, and I can't let it go. I guess you
the look back. The look back.
I love it.
searched to find a love within. I came back to let you know, got a thing for you, and I can't let it go. I guess.
Oh, isn't that cool?
The bird's better than. I'm sorry, but the bird does a better job than the guy does. That's so good. I love that.
Yeah, when I saw it, I thought I got to share that. Yeah, I hope I don't get in trouble for the music, but anyway,
You probably will.
Probably will. Yeah, I got to strike everybody, but it was from 6 months ago. Someone just decided to give it to me now. I was like, thanks a lot.
Wow, that's how.
Yeah, they get delayed.
Being dirty. Jeez.
It's okay. There's ways around things. Anyway, so what else? What else did I want to talk to you about, Yash? You listen to the frequency, so you got an idea now of how noisy it is and what we're actually hearing. And I don't have TV anymore, but I remember when I did those tones that I was playing earlier, I remember them tones coming over the TV.
Mm-hmm.
So anyone that's got a TV now, listen to see if you hear.
Yeah, and watching TV, the commercials were always louder than the show. It's like when the commercial came on, you had to turn the volume down because they had it on a different frequency.
Yeah.
That's how I got busted watching TV too late at night as a kid, because the commercials would come on.
I asked my dad, he always muted
assholes.
them, so I learned to mute them.
They get me busted every time. I like jump out of my bed to turn the TV knob down, volume knob, because the commercial came on.
Yeah, that's right. Because back in the day, there wasn't a remote control. You had to get up.
We didn't have it. Yeah.
I remember them days. You had to get up off your butt, off the lounge, turn the channel, and then sit down. If you didn't like it, you had to get back up and change it again.
Yeah, and if you were really
That's
lazy,
fine.
you just had kids.
I never did that to
I
my
was the one
kids.
that turned up and down the volume.
I used to watch parents do that. They get the kids to
So
change
right.
the channel. I thought, that's cool. I'm not doing that. I did it myself. I did it
Pretty
myself.
sure that's the only reason why I had two of my 4 sisters is just to change the TV channel.
Be a remote channel changer for you.
Yeah.
But how
The remote
lazy?
control.
What? How lazy have we got? We can't even get up and change a channel on the TV anymore.
Oh, Luna, now it's voice activated.
Oh, don't tell me. Oh, you're kidding.
I wasn't gonna tell you. It's voice activated.
I like
Okay.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, next thing the TV will be, you'll come in and the TV will be going, welcome
I'm
home.
gonna cook the chicken here in about 45 minutes, okay?
Welcome home. And then it'll go, you're not coming in, you're inebriated. And it won't let you inside your own home.
Well, that's weird. We were just talking about alcohol.
Oh dear. Yeah.
What a cool show.
So yep, we've got 15 minutes left. So I've got to put the fire on. I'm gonna put the fire on for the last 15 minutes. I said every week I'm putting the fire on, and it never happens. Wait a minute, I've got to find how to do it now. One moment. Where's my fire?
By the way, the Sirius Frequencies banner you have up there right now, that's my favorite one. I love
You
that
like
one.
that one? All right, we'll
Yep.
keep with.
The drops and the ripples and the audio files will get what I'm saying.
Yep, I'm glad you like it. Gee, screen, we've got the fire on our way out. So now we're just going to talk about whatever, which will probably be good stuff, hopefully still.
Saving my whatever for tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's what I've got to do, everyone. Tomorrow, plug it, Jules. Tomorrow night.
I am coming out of semi-retirement, and I will be hosting a stream on my channel, The Bitter and Sweet. My sister Luna is going to be with me, and I got a couple of other girls. It's sisters at arms, but brothers included too. I'll go back and I'll edit my description. Not giving too much away, but it's been a shit show in the world, and there's a reason for us to come together and talk and get over it so we can move forward and do what we got to do. So
And you also have a date, Jules.
And I do have a date with Polly tomorrow. We are going to discuss and reminisce and reflect on the year 1989, what I remember of it.
Whoa.
Jules, we've done every single year. We've done from 1980 all the way up to 1989. Every single year, we've done it.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I have a true story to share tomorrow. You just have to stick around
you're also
and find out what that is.
taking over some of the DJ rights. You're also taking over for a little while. I'm gonna give you the helm.
Okay.
Do you guys talk about phenomenons on there, like weird stuff you can't explain that happens? Or
That's our everyday conversation. That's why our
heck.
our conversation's so free flowing. We'll talk about anything and everything.
Oh, I'll talk about something that happened to me a few weeks ago. I didn't get a chance to tell anyone. It was really weird.
While I'm here, and I had to actually sign out of my chat, so I didn't echo on Luna's stream tonight. Des, it's good to see you. Malaya, Bernays, good to see you, brother. Tim, very nice to meet you. Luna, crazy chick, I love her to bits.
She's crazy, right?
And Grubbles here, Joe, Polly. And it's a pleasure to meet James.
Thank you.
Just
Thank you too.
thank you all for just sticking around and having some fun with us.
And Rusty and Future Use.
Yeah, and Rusty, I'm scrolling up. Hopefully, if I missed you, I'm sorry, but
Yeah, thanks
good
for
to see
dropping in.
you.
Thanks for dropping in. Yeah, I'm always lazy in the chat room. I was too actually talking in there today, Tim, because we both lived in a place called Canberra. I found it too cold, Tim. I had to come back home. The day I went to get my clothes off the line and I had to hose them down, that was it. I came back to Sydney. I'll tell you something that happened to me the other day before we go. We've still got a few minutes. I was walking in Penrith and I was looking up at the sky and around like I normally do, waiting for the lights to change to go across the road. And I saw an aeroplane, an ordinary passenger, passenger aeroplane, whatever, flying across. But I was looking at it and I'm thinking there's something weird about that. And it looked like it bent, right? I'm looking at it and it looked like it bent and like kind of looked at me. I'm thinking, hang on, I'm rubbing my eyes thinking I'm seeing blurry or some shit like that. And I'm just standing there at the middle of the traffic lights looking up at the sky, watching this plane. And then I had to look to see if the little green man appeared so it was safe to cross the road. And as I looked to see if the little green man appeared and then looked back up in the sky, the plane disappeared. And I'm looking around thinking it's got to be somewhere because it might be in the distance and flying past me or something. And I'm standing there now looking in the sky for the plane, not looking at the plane. And I did that for at least a minute. And I wonder how many people saw me and looked up at the sky while I was doing it. But the plane just disappeared. It just disappeared, man. And there were no
What
clouds.
color was it?
It was a
Do you
white
remember?
plane. Yeah, it was white.
Oh my goodness.
White.
Gosh,
But it was not right.
Mm.
There was something not right about it. And then it disappeared and I realised that whatever wasn't right about it was true.
Did it look
Yeah.
like an older passenger plane? Like an older
I
model?
couldn't tell you. What I should have done is pulled out my phone and zoomed in on it to get a closer look. But I was just in amazement, like, what the hell? What's this?
Did
I
you
see a
chills
lot.
down your spine?
Yeah. No, I'm used to it. I'm used to anomalies. I do get certain things give me chills down the spine, but things like that don't. But I've got to respond quicker. Like I see them and I'm too busy figuring out what it is I'm looking at and what's happening to think, pull out your phone, or I've got a little binocular thing, or pull that out so I can look through it and get a closer look. But it was all over before any of that happened. It just disappeared. Yeah, that was weird. That was weird. Weird stuff like that happening everywhere at the moment. It's like the frequency, the bouncing around and all the weird shit's happening, That's how it seems. Anyways, we've got 10 minutes left, people. What are we going to talk about?
All is well.
Yeah, what's the time?
All right, I just got another cup of coffee. If you can't
Town
tell,
crier.
worked all week, got overtime, and now that it's twilight hours, I'm full of energy. So I'll probably be up half the night.
Oh yeah.
That's when I get my energy. I'm not kidding. I have more energy at night than during the day. I'm a night owl.
Yeah, I find relief in the fact that the rest of Australia is going to sleep, and it's nice and quiet, and then it's like it's safe to come out now.
Just quieter. There's less noise. Why I like.
Yeah. I remember growing up, you could hear the rooster miles up the road. It was that quiet.
Nice.
Yeah, it was good. I remember we had a double bunk. I was on top bunk, and I'd wake up and look out the window as the sun come up, and you'd hear the rooster in the background, somewhere off in the distance, and it was really quiet. You just hear birds, and then it got noisier as the day went by, obviously. But yeah, it's totally different now. The sounds of the world are very different, much noisier.
Yeah.
True. I would agree with that, but I think everybody's busier now than they have been.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's weird too. We make all these machines to make our life easier, and that, but we're busier than we were
Well,
before.
and I mean, and speaking of frequencies, what is this frequency that compels people to just constantly grind and be busy and have something to do and literally tire themselves out so they can get a good night's sleep?
Yeah, true. I was going to say something, I forgot.
That would make me slow down a lot. Like she just said, I thought about like everything I do, what's the meaning behind it. And at the end of the day, I still lay my head in the pillow. So I just learned.
Yeah, we leave
Kind of learn to slow down.
this realm, have a rest, and then come back. That's what it feels like, sleep. It's like a break from the game. Hang on, I'm just going to have a break, and then get back into the game. All right. Well, I think we should call it a night, a day, wherever you are. Until next week. And we'll have some Sirius Frequencies going again.
Yeah, and if you guys have chance, my stream's going to be on tomorrow at 8:30, which is Eastern time. So it'll be around the time Luna started her stream here tonight. A lot of the things that we're going to talk about probably would pertain to what we talked about tonight, in the sense that we're just going to go a little bit deeper in spirits.
Cool. All right.
What was the name of the channel?
The Bitter and Sweet.
Hang on.
I can drop the name, but the link I'll have to. Are you in Luna's Discord or KBS Discord, or where can we find you, James?
Yeah, I'm on Discord. I think it's Thriller James. I did change it, and then on YouTube a lot, and then Jim Grimm on Facebook.
Okay.
There's quite a bit of them, but you'll see my face. And there's some picture there.
I'm trying to find it so I can drop it in the chat room. I'm just maneuvering.
Yeah, I would have to like sign out because it's a different email address that I'm using in chat, and I'm so unprepared.
Hang on, I will find it. Just give me a second.
I literally, this does feel like coming out of retirement. The last stream I did was back in February with Nano Girl. And that was a stream we went back and we revisited V, and I probably need to go back and watch that because I'm pretty sure there's some stuff in there that happened then that's going around now.
And I found it.
Thank you, Luna. You're the bestest.
Where are we? Paste in the chat room. Bing. There it is. Can you see that? Did it come up? Yep.
Yeah, you never know when Nano Girl is gonna reappear. Hint, hint.
Oh, that'll be nice. Yeah. Okay, so there it is in the chat room, people. I'll post it in my channel chat thing, and you'll get a little note on it. I'll do that after this show, and we'll see you over there tomorrow. And the rest of us will see you next week, same place, same time. Seriously.
Yeah.
I won't be drinking the night before. I'll promise you that.
And don't forget to check out the 1989 show tomorrow.
Yes, 1989.
Oh, yes.
Tomorrow it's
Yes.
1989.
Polly's radio show. Polly,
kill it.
what's it called again?
Kill it, Jules.
Hug yourself, brother.
What's your show called again, Polly?
Oh, it's Pollination.
No, your radio show.
That's what it's called.
Pollination.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just called Pollination.
Okay,
Where can we
then.
find you at?
You can find me wherever Pollination is found,
Okay.
which
All over
is
the world.
the
All over the world.
freeworld.fm and in the Independent Broadcast Network.
Cool.
Okay.
They both work. Yeah, Free World or IBN. Free World or IBN. They both work and they're both awesome. So yeah, check that out because 1989 is gonna be a scorcher.
Cool. No, you're gonna party like
I
it's
was
19.
12. Yeah. Finally
wasn't.
started listening to music the way it should be listened to
Oh,
in
I was-
I got my
1989.
driver's license in 1989.
Nice.
That was
I was 8
on
years
wheels.
old.
I became a mum.
Yeah, Jules, you're taking me to the drive-through.
Ha 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 ha.
Still
All right,
winning Riverside.
everyone. I want to thank you. Thank you, James, for coming. Thank you, Jules, for dropping in. Thanks,
Thank you
Polly,
for
as
having me.
usual. And yeah, you want to say something before we go, and I'll rock it out, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you for having me. I mean, it's weird not like doing a stream with you, but life is what it is. But it's always good to come back and spend time with my brothers and sisters.
Good to have you back, Jules. Yeah, just hang in there, James, and I'll just finish the show. And Polly, I'll see you on the other side of this. And everyone else,
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Sirius Frequencies is, I think it's evolving. I like it. I like the way it's not that serious. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be serious all the time.
yeah, don't take anything too serious.
And yeah, and Zoe says, "Bye, everybody." Zoe says,
Bye, Zoe.
Bye-bye,
Okay,
Zoe.
love to you on this day, Yalu, and we'll see you next week. We're going to rock it out, and we can look at the fire while we're doing that. So, Yalu, we'll see you next week.
"Yeah,
Rock it out. Have a good week, everyone. Stay safe, stay centered,
Yalu.
be kind, and Creator loves you. Yalu.
Be kind. Rewind.